clicked on this video hoping to find solutions for your dark spots and pigmentation problem, then I must tell you, you are in the right place, because by the end of this video, you will have enough information that will help you make an educated, informed assessment rather than making a random guess of what your dark spots could potentially be and what skincare ingredients you actually need to treat them. Now, before I start sharing scientific studies and start sharing facts, I want you to step back and visualize Shreya's life story. So Shreya, in her teenage years, comes from a middle-class family. She has been living in a subtropical kind of climate, which is full of heat and humidity. She has an immense academic load, and skincare is not even a priority. She neither has the time nor have the money to spend on it. Majority of her time during the day she spends at school and at home, and at times she meets her friend in the evenings. So majority she's spending her time indoors. She does experience, on and off light acne, but it quickly fades as well. And as you could make out at this stage, she does not have any knowledge of skin's biology. She doesn't actually even care about it. And of course, there is no conversation of sunscreen. Now she enters into 20s where she gets a job. She changed her city, her location, her climate. Now she has more money to spend on her personal grooming, her skincare products. She gets to know about sunscreen, although she uses it sparingly, and she still continues with her DIYs too. She also spends part of that money on vacations, going to the beaches or to the mountains. So in this decade, her sun exposure becomes more than it was previously. At this point, she starts using public transport a lot more. Her job needs her to be on field, so she's traveling quite a bit and staying under the sun a lot more often. Also at this point, now that she has her own money, she starts to make some lifestyle choices. Eating out, enjoying with friends, eating more processed food, eating more sugars. Now she enters her 30s where a lot of things change in her life. She gets married, she has kids, she moved to an even bigger city or even changed countries. And now that she has her own personal vehicle, she spends considerably less time under the sun. She's become more diligent with her sunscreen now. And as we know, she has gone through a lot of hormonal changes already. And what she starts to see now in her mid-30s, dark spots, uneven skin tone, brown patches. And not just these, but also fine lines around her eyes and mouth and an uneven, dull complexion. So she thinks now her dark spots started in her 30s, but they actually didn't. I see myself in bits and pieces in Shreya's story, and I believe you might be seeing yourself too if you have spent early years of your life in India. You see, we start to see these patches, brown spots, pigmentation, dull skin, uneven skin tone, and start to wonder these aging signs are now began to show as I'm in my 30s, but they actually began a long time ago, especially in women with melanin-rich skin. Studies suggest dark spots and pigmentation start manifesting between 20 and 40 years, and it is very common in Fitzpatrick 3 or 4 type of skin, which is basically a brown South Asian kind of skin tone. Also, women are more likely to experience these dark spots and pigmentation problems as compared to their men counterparts. A study done on men and women found melasma is more dominant in women with women to men ratio 4:1, which is understandable. Like, I don't think I'm going to question it because of all the hormonal changes that we go through in our different phases of life, from our monthly cycles to pregnancies to premenopause to menopause. There are a lot of internal factors at play, and not just internal factors, even external factors, they contribute equally to pigmentation and dark spot problem, if not more. UV exposure, blue light damage, pollution, stress, poor sleep. These will not only make our dark spots or pigmentation worse, but they can trigger and make new pigmentation as well. So now if we go back to Shreya's story, she's actually ticking a lot of boxes. She has had years of cumulative sun damage. She has a stressful job. She has had 2 pregnancies and she has already been through so many hormonal changes already. And now she would be soon stepping into her premenopause. Or maybe she's already in it without even knowing it. And as she sees all these things happening on her skin, she starts buying random OTC skincare products to treat concerns she does not even have any clue about. She buys random stuff without knowing what ingredients or what products she needs in her routine at home, just like we all do. So in order to solve Shreya's problem, or rather I should say, our problem, we should look at the roots and where these dark spots actually form in our skin. So our skin has 3 main layers: epidermis, dermis, and hypodermis. The epidermis basal layer is the home for melanocytes. This is where the pigments are produced and your skin gets this color. In a healthy skin, melanocytes are stabilized and regulated. But when you experience inflammation, internal or external, hormonal changes, these melanocytes become dysregulated and become erratic, resulting in the formation of the dark spots in the basal layer of the epidermis. Remember, it is still at the basal layer, it hasn't reached your epidermis, so you can't see it. Now, when do you start to see it? So basically, our skin shed cycle is from 28 days to 40 days, depending on how old or how young we are. So our skin produces melanin inside melanosomes. Even the excess ones, they are inside melanosomes, and these melanosomes, they are transferred to keratinocytes. Keratinocytes move upward and pigment is eventually shed with normal skin cell turnover. So you see any pigment, any dark spot that is sitting in your epidermis, the topmost layer of the skin, will anyways shed off. It could take longer or it could shed away faster depending on your shed cycle. So that's why if we look at Shreya in her teenage years, even when she was getting on and off acne, she was getting dark spots, it would fade away quickly because back then her skin was much more stable, her skin had more structural integrity. But now that she is in her 30s, she definitely needs some help with either chemical peels, retinoids, exfoliators, or AHAs and BHAs. This entire thing could get you thinking, that means every dark spot, every pigmentation patch will go away on its own in its own course of time. But sadly, that's not the case. If you have ever experienced that even with consistent skincare, consistently using chemical peels, retinoids, your dark spots are still not fading away, then there is a deeper problem because now the melanin, that extra pigment, is not just sitting at the basal layer of the epidermis, it has dropped down in the dermal layer. And if that has happened, no topical skincare would be able to treat that. You need to visit a dermatologist, a skin specialist, so that they can check and confirm using clinical grade equipments, tests, blood work, and recommend you treatments like laser and light therapies. So you see, depending on where the pigment is sitting inside your skin layer, you need to go for different treatments. At this stage, let's look at types of dark spots and pigmentation. So you see age spots, you see melasma, freckles, and post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation. And all these dark spots and all these pigmentation, hyperpigmentation problems, they have their own mechanisms and own reasons of why they would start in our skin in the first place. Age spots usually form through chronic sun exposure, and they are often harder to treat as they mature. And it's often an epidermal phenomena, whereas melasma happens in epidermis, but also in dermis too. Freckles are an epidermal phenomena, and they can be treated with usage of these ingredients and treatments. Post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation, as the name suggests, hyperpigmentation happening as a result of an inflammation, could be an internal inflammation or external trigger. So what ingredients, what skincare products you should be actually looking for? And the bigger question is, do they even work? And the good news is, yes, it's proven scientifically, and there are research studies supporting that. In one study, Asian women between 29 and 65 years were tested to apply anti-pigmentation product, showed spots reduced by 7.3% and adjacent areas around the spots lightened by 12.3% after 56 days of consistent use. So you see anti-pigmentation ingredients like tranexamic acid, kojic acid, alpha-arbutin, hexylresorcinol, cysteamine, retinoids, AHA, BHA, they do help. Tranexamic acid helps reduce inflammatory stimulation. Cysteamine and kojic acid, they inhibit tyrosinase in their own ways. Retinoids speed up cell turnover, and AHA, BHA accelerate exfoliation. And on top of that, SPF protects your skin and helps keep new pigment from forming. So in order to treat your dark spots, your pigmentation problem, you don't just need one ingredient. Yes, you can have a product that combines some of these ingredients, but you still need a few of these products to treat and speed up the skin cycle. Just make sure you don't go overboard with it. You start with the lowest concentration, start with low frequency, see how your skin responds and build from there. And yes, for the best results, you need to stay consistent, tweak your lifestyle habits if you can, reduce processed food, sugars, include exercises, and keep a check of your water intake. So the first thing you could do right away to help reduce the appearance of your dark spot or pigmentation is to start wearing sunscreen every single day. Include an antioxidant. Include a serum that has dark spot correcting ingredients like tranexamic acid, kojic acid, hexylresorcinol, alpha-arbutin, licorice root extract. Cysteamine could be a great option, though it is found in more expensive skincare. But look for these ingredients. Look for products that has combination of these. Use a ceramide-based moisturizer because as we age, ceramide levels go down in our skin and we need to replenish those consistently. And lastly, use SPF every single day. If you go for a tinted SPF, that would be the best option. For nighttime, you should be double cleansing your skin. You cannot go to bed with all that gunk and dirt on your face. You cannot actually see all of that, but it's actually there from your makeup, from the pollution outside, from the dust that you might have experienced in the day. Next, go for an antioxidant serum that will help repair any oxidative damage that has happened from the day. At this time, you can also add your dark spot correcting serum in case you see your dark spots need more attention, and seal everything using a good ceramide-based moisturizer. Other than this, start using retinol or retinal twice a week at least. Give your skin some time to adjust with retinoids, and once you see it's fine, you can start including AHAs and BHAs like chemical peels in your skincare maybe once in 10 days. Go for the lowest strength at the beginning and build from there slowly. Follow this routine for the next 3 months and you will definitely see a visible difference in your skin. I hope this video have helped you in understanding, what is the root cause, how you could treat it, and what ingredients to look for overall when treating dark spots. Do let me know in the comments. And that is all for today's video. I'll see you all in my next video. Until then, stay tuned, stay beautiful.